Be prepared. Here are 20 helpful tips. I'm still in chapter 4 on the desperate need to be prepared for the weight loss process. I'm going through my book here, What Works When Diets Don't, What Works When Diets Don't, and putting this into podcasts and also the audio version of this book. And I'm going to be, I go back and forth on different topics and try to tie it in with where we're at, and then trying to make each point. We're talking about wisdom. We've talked about preparation. We've talked about choosing to change from the inside out. And then in the next chapter, we're going to get right into some details about food. But I want to finish this one up because it's so important. Be prepared. Here are some helpful tips. I'm actually going to list 20 helpful tips for you. Number 1, since the cost of healthy food can get expensive, try looking for sales at different locations. I do that often, or my family does. There's Vons in our area, Trader Joe's, Sprouts. Some of you have Whole Foods. And I've walked in, I've seen, blueberries, 50% off, organic blueberries. And so purchase those. That does take a little bit of extra work, or I won't buy anything right then. I'll wait a couple of days because we still have some fruit. Or you find this great deal on apples. And I try to find organic, because if you can't, you definitely want to wash the fruit well, especially what they call the dirty dozen. Berries are heavily sprayed. Blueberries, they're sprayed with something called glyphosate. And and even if they're GMO, genetically modified, they've been gene spliced, where they're called Roundup Ready, and you can spray this plant bush or vegetable or fruit, and it won't die from the Roundup, but the weeds around it will, because it's been genetically modified. So when you can, organic is best. If you can't, wash it really good. And I often find organic eggs at 50% off. Their expiration date is coming up fairly soon, but if you boil them or use them, or you can find local farms. There's people that have chickens and they'll sell you, a good dozen eggs for $5 or $6. But I know it can get expensive. And I think I'll talk about this in a minute. If your budget is tight, you want to do a few different things. You want to be selective. And so you want to find God-given food at a discount. I've walked into Sprouts before. We just did it this week and bought 4 packages of ground organic turkey meat for $1.99. And they're normally $9.99 or $10.99, whatever it is. And so get some of those, freeze them, maybe buy some a quarter of a grass-fed cow, go in with friends. Again, moderation, and that's another thing about intermittent fasting or not eating too much is when I cut out just, extra eating in my diet, the family saves money. I mean, how many hundreds of dollars could you save if we don't always have that second helping? Even in big places like Costco, you can find some really good deals. How about a bag of organic beans that you have to cook, but there's great prices on that. You also have, you can buy some healthy protein powder that you can mix with organic soy milk. I'm not scared of soy. I used to be worried about it because it's could affect on the body, possibly converting to estrogen, but looked at a lot of studies, even in Okinawa, and the amount of soy they eat is incredible. And we just, it can do that if you're eating soy all the time, but I think just every now and then it's no big deal at all. So that's number 1. You can make changes, with, even on a budget. For example, how many times do you go to your favorite coffee shop? How many times you stop by your favorite place and get your snack, and frivolous spending on Amazon or DoorDash? I've had a family before look at this. And I'm going to be conservative because I don't want you to not believe me, because I can't remember the exact number, but I think it was around $1,200 they were spending a month. $1,200. Now, this included eating out a few times as well, but all these extra things. So organic food or not, just healthy food is too expensive. Well, here's $1,200 that you're spending on when you don't need to. So I know that's exaggerated amount, but even us, let's say we stop our favorite coffee shop. You got $5, $6, $7 a day for the kids or yourself, 7 times 30 days, you're over $200. And we shouldn't be asking why is good food so expensive. We should ask why is bad food so cheap. So number 2, reallocate your money. Many people spend $10 a day at their favorite coffee house, which can add up to, like I said, $30 a month. So point number 2 is, I already gave you it. watch how you use your money. Point number 3, when you begin to exercise, expect to hit a wall within the first 5 or 10 minutes. You may feel like quitting, but don't. Many times your energy level will dramatically improve within a few minutes, and you'll finish your workout with energy to spare. There have been times where I went to walk outside, and within the first 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm just going to walk back to my truck. Sometimes maybe you need to if your body's getting sick or run down. But, as I keep going, there's a barrier that breaks, and you stay out for a while. It's really, really encouraging. That's not the runner's wall that you hear about. This is something different. This is just getting your body to wake up a little bit. Number 4, the busier you stay throughout the day, working, cleaning, running errands. If you're watching this podcast, you can see I get to check my texting real quick, just make sure there's no emergencies. So the busier you stay throughout the day is key. Working, like I'm going to go back home now and clean the backyard, run errands. And when you run errands, instead of saying, how close can I park? Where's the best parking spot? Park far away and walk. Oh, I've got to carry a few groceries. Yeah, that's even better. So we've got to be proactive. And I thought about this, over the course of a month, let's say, at the mall, everywhere I go, sometimes even church, or, I park farther away, even if it's just, probably, let's say 150 calories extra a day. I'm over 3,000 to 5,000 calories burned by walking, just by parking farther for the month. So all these things do add up big time. So the busier you stay throughout the day will really, really help. So solution, move more, sit less. Sitting is the new smoking. Immediately following a meal, you might want to, and it depends, if you have a couple pizza slices, you're tired, you want to sit down, watch TV. If I have a big salad with a little bit of chicken on it, I usually can't finish it all because it's hard to eat too many vegetables. And then, want to walk around, maybe, you name it. You can kind of stay busy. You don't have to sit down and watch TV and call it a night at 6 p.m. So number 5, 4 was stay busier. Allow yourself to move more and stay active. Number 5, incorporate intermittent fasting and long fasting into your life. I'll talk more about that in the final chapter. Number 6, avoid diet drinks. I would even add to this, avoid juice. I know I'm going to get controversial here, but there's the big juicing community and detox by juicing. That's a whole nother topic. I'm not against it. If you feel led to juice, I think it can be really healthy, especially if it's just green juice, which doesn't taste good. So not too many people do it, but you're getting a lot of fructose in, a lot of sugar from the fruit, a lot more than you normally would get in, and you're not eating the fruit in its natural state. So you're missing, apples, you're missing the pectin, the fiber, some of the content of the bulk that slows down the absorption rate of the sugar being released into your bloodstream, insulin levels and things like that. So I would avoid diet drinks. Personally, I avoid juice. I might have a little bit of grapefruit juice or something because I like it, but most of it's pasteurized. It's not real healthy. So I would avoid that, and other products containing artificial sweeteners. Of course, the Cokes, the Diet Cokes, the Pepsis, if you can really wean off of that, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to sleep better. These things are so detrimental to our health that I don't think we know the ramifications just yet. Then number 7, if you're going to exercise mid-afternoon or evening, some experts suggest it's often best to perform resistance training before cardiopulmonary training. 30 minutes of weight, 30 minutes of jogging. I'm not going to get that technical in this book because I'm not an expert in this area. I would say, here's what I would say: exercise when it's best for you. I can't do it later in the afternoon. I'm not an evening exerciser. I get up, I study, prepare my sermons, pray, listen to worship. A couple hours later, I'll go for a walk. I'll do some basic exercises. I don't go to the gym, and I do what's best for me. I don't worry about 30 minutes of this, I'll get on a bike for a half hour and then I'll do my workout, or I'll go walk in the desert, or I'll go on a bike ride, or maybe one day I'll just mainly do HIIT training. I'll do bike for a couple minutes and then hop off and do these exercises and hop back on the bike, do some HIIT training, hop off. So you can, I just don't get it because there's so many variables on what's your goal. What are you trying to accomplish? Cardio is important, but if you're trying to put on muscle, weight resistance training takes the cake as well. And what type, high interval training, more like sprinting, or is the oxygen heart rate kept more of a moderate level for a longer time better. I'll let you follow the experts on that, but I would just recommend doing something. You'll never go wrong doing something. Add resistance training into your program. I would say you can do too much cardio, and I did that for years because I thought, okay, weight loss, cardio, and I could tell it really, my muscles just didn't perform as well. If your plan is to exercise, I'll do number 8 right now. If your plan is to exercise first thing in the morning, some suggest consuming a small amount of protein beforehand, such as a protein shake. They say this helps to minimize muscle tissue from being broken down. I know that some people recommend actually working out in a fasted state with growth hormone levels elevated and different things like that. So I would just get it in when you can. And if you need to eat a little bit, like sometimes I will need to eat a little bit. For example, if I have, if I'm up at 4:30 in the morning and I can't just drink green tea or I'll feel sick. I don't know why necessarily. I know it has to do with the phytochemicals and things. But I'll have a little bit of maybe 100, 200 calories, and then I don't get sick and I can enjoy my green tea. And then a couple hours later, I'll work out and then definitely try to eat afterwards. So, I try not to get too technical because we've got lives to lead and families to lead, and just do what you know to be right in moderation. Number 9, if within an hour or two after eating, you feel hungry again, persevere through it. The supposed hunger eventually leaves. A lot of it has to do with our blood sugar dropping. And we really aren't hungry. We're craving. Our body's craving certain things. So what I do, because I feel it, so I might actually eat maybe 3 or 4 blueberries or raspberries just to kind of give me something, then drink some water and deal with it. 5-10 minutes later, you're not hungry anymore. So what's happening is we get hungry a couple hours later, we respond, we get a big snack. We get hungry a couple hours later, we respond, get a big snack. And we're just constantly eating, and that has to stop. Number 10, plan your daily meals whenever possible. That's what I talked about earlier. Pre-planned means prepared. And so I've got my food kind of laid out for today and tomorrow. And even if I don't, I've got the right foods in the refrigerator that I can choose. I won't get into all the, different things you can do. That's up to you. Number 11, if you fail to eat properly for a day or 2 in a row, maybe some of you are listening, that's happened, or a week, you get back on track. Start the following day. Number 11 is so important. Get back on track. I know, I've just, even this week, I've tried to, let me just kind of watch it. I'm recording the book. I want to live what I'm talking about. And one day I had like 3,600 calories because I started earlier in the morning. It was all healthy. It was good, but my body must have needed it. And I'm glad I didn't get up the next day and go, oh, forget it. Let's just keep moving. And I actually, I think I weighed myself. I was probably up 2 pounds. A lot of that has to do with sodium and things like that. But I don't weigh myself every day. I sometimes go weeks without doing it. Moderation's the key. So get back on track. That's number 11. Get back on track, fall forward, and repeat the process again. Number 12, read reputable health and fitness books or listen to podcasts. Enough just to keep you educated and motivated. I mean, I can name a lot, but not all of them are, they're not Christians. So, and a lot of even some of my friends in the fitness arena, man, they're hardcore obsessed. Hey, look at my, I got a cold water therapy plunge. What do they call those? A little pool. I've got some red light therapy sauna. I've got the breathing. I take off my shoes and I do earthing, and I walk on the grass and I walk on the dirt. And then I've got this supplement here, and I've got this gauge to put on my head to, really offset this. And then it's like, man, I think walking in the dirt's good. Walking in the grass is great. I'll jump in a cold pool or shower. There's a lot of benefits, but, we got to stay balanced. So that's why when I recommend people, sometimes they'll say things or they'll cuss, and it's just, people, wow, you recommend this person and they believe in evolution. Yeah, I know, but you take the wheat and throw out the chaff. But if I've watched, like on fasting, Alan Goldhammer, with True North Center, I actually visited there about 6 months ago, stayed for 5 days. It was very beneficial, very eye-opening. I was able to eat some of their healthy food, and it's healthy, but it does not taste like what we're used to. No salt, no oil, no sugar. But I got used to it and I liked it. I just want to go up there and get away. And it was actually more of a retreat, but I found out you can't do a retreat up there because they're constantly checking in on you like 4 times a day bring in water. And so it was not what I thought, but it was definitely beneficial. So he says some things I don't agree with, but a lot of great information for those who want to do long-term fasting. Dr. Jason Fung, of course, Daniel Pompa is a lot of great resources. Of course, Dr. Huberman, real popular right now, Ben Greenfield, Dr. Peter Attia, Dr. Ben Bickman, Gary Brecka. There's a lot of good podcasts. Gabriella Lyons, Dr. Gabriella Lyons, she's a doctor. Thomas DeLauer, very knowledgeable guy. I like how he's finding some balance, especially now. Dr. Paul Saladino. So I follow a lot of these people, even my own friend, Dr. Paul Brilhart, who wrote a book on fasting, has helped me out tremendously as well. And so it's good, because if you're looking at that versus, donut commercials and things that keep you kind of going in the wrong direction or negative, it's really hard to stay positive when you're feeding on the negative. So follow and listen to, but if you got to be getting the word of God in, that must be the priority. So if you're not getting enough word in and you're watching all these podcasts, now here's the downside to that. Too much information overload can be detrimental, because all the guys I just mentioned, they have different views on what diet is best. Whole plant-based. I didn't get into Esselstyn and Caldwell and, the whole forks over knives guys. And, they're saying this, they're saying this, they're saying this, they're saying this. And it can get real confusing, overwhelming. I don't know what to do. And that's not good either. So you want to be careful when you follow these different people, as long as you have the grounding is in the Word of God. In moderation, God-given food, and you learn from what you learn from them. I've got some concerns with whole plant-based food only. I know friends who follow that. They say they kind of call it vegan, but then they go buy chips and crackers that have a lot of seed oils in them, refined vegetable oils. I'm like, I'd rather have an egg. So that's the downside to following a lot of different people. So you just, as long as you have a biblical model. That's how you sift everything through that biblical model, and you don't get too carried away. When possible, walk, jog, or hike outside. Again, I talked about parking farther away from different things. Number 14, when exercising, choose, again, I watch like some videos or listen to some uplifting music. I'll talk to people on the phone while exercising. So you have to make it a priority. Number 15, don't allow yourself to fall into the winter weight gain trap that starts in October. My goal is October, November, December. I just like to maintain. I also like when I go on vacation, we take a few weeks, we go on vacation with the family. I'm excited about maintaining or even losing. I've came back from vacation 4 pounds lighter because we're so busy. We're so active and just being active, eating healthy. See, for me, it's not like, oh, now I can pig out and I can eat tons of ice cream. I can have this, because I don't feel well. I don't sleep well. I don't have a good attitude. So for me, I don't know what the big deal is and why people make fun of it, because you're actually taking better care of your body. So don't allow yourself to fall into that winter weight gain trap. That's number 15. Number 16, avoid buying food that you'll be tempted to eat. This is why I've got pretty good discipline, but I'm not going to I actually don't have chocolate in my house because I just love even organic, even chocolate that's not sweet, because I'll throw some honey on it and some peanut butter. It's just a very tempting thing for me. And it's much easier. I can get an Ezekiel bread and put some Manuka honey on it with some MCT oils. I'm not going to go crave that at night. I'm not going to, it's no big deal. But if I've got chocolate in the house, or of course, all the other good stuff, it makes it very difficult. I'm trying to think of what else I don't want. That's usually that one. And, I can't really think if I know there's ice cream, depending on chocolate chip ice cream in the freezer, that's kind of tough too. So you have to just avoid those things. Like those who are wanting to stop alcohol, I would eliminate it from your home completely, because by the time you have to think about it, go take a drive, get dressed or whatever, it really, really slows down the process. Out of sight, out of mind is really helpful in this area. So 16, avoid buying things you don't want to eat or drink. Number 17, you have to schedule in exercise with other important daily activities. You have to put first things first. That's why get up in the morning, time with the Lord, exercise, and then go forward from there. And then 18, although many diet books and magazines contain helpful information about weight loss, they are not the answer in themselves. themselves. Always remember that. They might help you, but it's biblical advice. It really helps. Persistence, correct information, moving forward despite setbacks, discipline. These are your most valuable tools. So don't rely on, number 18, don't rely on, diet books to be the answer. Or this new fad, this new diet fad is probably what I'm trying to say. And then number 19, use wisdom. Do not believe claims such as it only takes a few minutes a day, or you can consume whatever you want. Just take this pill, or lose all the weight you want while you sleep. Just wear this belt. I mean, this is ridiculous. Let's use common sense. These claims develop a false perception about weight loss for consumers. And then number 20 is not in the book, but I'm going to give you that bonus right now. Repeat these. Everything I just said, repeat these. So you can even download the book at our church website, westsidechristianfellowship.org, for free. Print this out and you repeat these. And once you repeat them, they actually become a habit. So I actually don't have to look at these again. These have become ingrained and they are habit. They're habit forming. So these are habits in my life. So anyway, we're going to get into a very important topic next. That is on food. But I hope this section in this chapter on preparation has really helped.